In Act 2, Elphaba is almost wooed into joining Glinda and the wizard again, but then she finds animals imprisoned within his lair. She then decides to crash Fiyero and Glinda's wedding. Fiyero actually helps her escape during the wedding. Glinda is heartbroken and she plots to lure Elphaba out via Nessa. Elphaba and Fiyero profess their love. Mistress Marble creates a tornado that lands famous Dorothy from Wizard of Oz on Nessa, killing her. Elphaba finds out and she's upset. She and Glinda fight, and then the guards come when Fiyero tries to rescue Elphaba, and they drag him away, and he's beat up. What did you think about the second half? What did you think about the royal wedding? Sorry, not the second half, Act 2.
Act two. Yeah, I didn't really care about anything, to be honest. Again, I think this is where the whole like male centeredness really starts to kick off in this film. Like the fight that they have about Fiyero. A nice tidbit though is that it is foreshadowed in the first one where they have their little sparring session in the school, which is cool. But yeah, it's just like you
Mm.
guys are fighting over a man that doesn't want either of you, like Loki. Oh, but he wants Elphaba, I guess. But it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what this film is trying to say, honestly. And like you said, it is a kids' movie at the end of the day. So I'm just a bit perplexed by it. Also, one thing I will say though is the writing for Nessa works very well for me. I hated that woman in the first film, and now I've hate her. I was so happy when the house dropped on her. But I was no, she's a villain. She is like up there. She's probably worse than the wizard in my opinion. I'm sorry, she's terrible. Having said that, I do think that this is where the whole Dorothy and Wizard of Oz kind of storyline became problematic for me. I understand this may be in the source material, but it just felt like it was clunky. It felt like it was being shoehorned in,
I agree.
and Act Two is where that really starts to be a problem for me. What about you?
I agree on that. I think that they made a creative decision with this film to not show
Yeah,
Dorothy and Toto and her characters clearly on camera because they don't want to distract from the fact that this is actually a story about Elphaba and Glinda, right? But the way they go about doing it just feels
it's weird.
discombobulated and jarring. I
Mm-hmm.
agree on that. As for the royal wedding, this is the second time I'm seeing Jonathan Bailey walking out on his wedding day to go and chase after a brown girl. So, so that was amusing to me. Yeah, again, not much to say. When it came to the fight, I did like Ariana's moment.
Mm-hmm.
That was amusing, but other than that, it just felt silly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's when I was like, yeah, this really is a children's movie. And since the first film is somewhat like that, but I think the strength and the emotional depth of the songs
Yeah.
actually lifts away from the juvenile nature of the actual story a bit, in
Mm-hmm.
a way that because you've lost the power of the songs in this film, it's exposing just how childish some of this stuff is.
So Act Two has the let's say the romantic scene between Elphaba and Fiyero. It's probably the most cringe thing I've seen this year. It was like actually really bad.
No.
And obviously there may be reasons for that. But I just think that like why did Elphaba need to suddenly start stripping down? Like it was just really weird. It was really weird. There was zero chemistry between them. And I understand, yes, ultimately it's a kids' film. We're not exactly expecting people to get frisky, right? But it was very uncomfortable for me to watch.
It's so interesting because I found that whole scene to be simultaneously extremely de-sex, but also at the same time more explicit than I expected it to be. At the
Exactly.
same time, it was the strangest thing. I think Jonathan Bailey and Cynthia Erivo had good chemistry in the first film. I
Mm.
thought those scenes where like they are in the woods and stuff like that, when she touches his face in the first film, and when they're saying goodbye from Shiz University, I thought they had good chemistry. In the second film, I don't know what happens, but like the chemistry just gets weirder. Even though Jonathan Bailey, he's really doing his best to be yearning and his eyes are longing and all of that. And I've seen Cynthia Erivo have good chemistry with people before. She definitely has good chemistry with Ariana. But so you're right, it's weirdly sexist because they have her wearing this huge knit jumper who I don't know which woodland creatures knitted that jumper for her. And but then she's stripping down, he's pulling down his suspenders. So I'm like, okay, so is this supposed to be giving intimacy? But then they can't go there. So like it kind of cuts in very jarring ways. But then the next time you see them, they want to make it unambiguously clear that they have clearly
Yes.
just had sex. Like,
Let's address that ridiculous line that Alphabet says about how today I feel wicked. I was literally like,
it's an iconic line from the
I'm
play.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's the worst thing I saw this year.
Oh my god, not too much on my face. Not too much. But we need to talk about how Fierro was doing all of that on his wedding day to another girl.
Yeah, but he already told. Listen, I don't feel sorry for women like Glinda in real life as well. If a man has told you multiple times he doesn't want you, you need to listen. Stop being silly.